Hello, parents and caregivers. Welcome to your virtual guide to school avoidance. In this video, we'll define school avoidance, discuss the importance of addressing it, dig into the signs and underlying reasons that children avoid school, give you strategies to deal with school avoidance in your household, and leave you with a few resources. Word of caution. This video will give you foundational knowledge to support a child who is avoiding school. However, if your child's school avoidance is causing stress in your family or negatively affecting your child's life functioning, it's important to reach out to the school for support. The school might also suggest that you talk to a mental health provider, your child's pediatrician, or other professionals who can work as a team to support you and your child. So, what is school avoidance? It refers to when a child repeatedly tries to avoid going to or staying in school. It captures a broad range of behaviors. It can look like your child struggling to arrive at school on time, leaving before the school day ends, spending time in the nurse's office, or not attending school at all. What's not school avoidance? Well, school avoidance does not mean when a child complains about going to school now and then. It only refers to when a child has a pattern of that behavior. It also doesn't mean when a child has a genuine reason they must leave school sometimes, like a health condition that requires treatment. It must refer to a child refusing to attend school. Remember, if your child is avoiding school, you're not alone. A quarter or more of students show school avoidance behaviors at some point in their lives, and school avoidance has increased since the pandemic shutdown. School avoidance rates are especially high in kindergarten. They drop in early elementary school and increase again in middle school and throughout high school. As common as it is, addressing school avoidance is important because attending school is important. At school, children gain academic skills, social skills, build relationships, and gain skills that will serve them throughout their life. Not attending school can have short term consequences, like academic difficulties, family stress, or missing out on school resources. Missing just a few days every couple of weeks in elementary school can make it harder for your child to learn to read, build social skills, and develop good attendance habits that will serve them throughout their time in school. In the long term, a pattern of school avoidance is associated with eventual school dropout and other negative consequences like employment challenges. Importantly, school avoidance can suggest that a child is experiencing deeper difficulties. It might be a sign that they're struggling with schoolwork, dealing with a bully, experiencing anxiety or depression, or facing some other challenge. But when families and schools work together, they can address those deeper difficulties, minimize the possible consequences of non attendance, and help get children back in class. Let's dig deeper into the signs of school avoidance now. If your child is avoiding school, you might have noticed that they cry, protest, or tantrum in the morning before school, complain of physical symptoms like headaches or stomach aches before school, have difficulty getting out of bed in the morning, or trouble going to sleep on school nights, often request to call home or go home during the school day, or often go to the nurse when they're at school. So, why might a child show some of these signs? Well, people only engage in behaviors over and over again when the behavior serves a purpose for them. For children who have a pattern of school avoidance, that avoidance behavior serves a purpose for them. Understanding that purpose helps us address the avoidance. Children who avoid attending school usually do so for two purposes. First, they might be escaping or avoiding something at school, like undesirable situations or feelings. Specifically, they might be avoiding feelings of anxiety, which can come with certain classes or activities. For example, they might avoid the anxiety associated with a noisy bus ride or gym class. For young children who show school avoidance, anxiety around separating from caregivers is especially common. Children who are academically struggling may be avoiding academic tasks or feelings of frustration or failure. They might also be avoiding social situations like unstructured social time on the playground, interacting with others on the bus, or group work. Children who avoid attending school are sometimes experiencing bullying at school. Second, children may be getting access to something at home or in the community that is more enjoyable for them than being at school. While at home, they might have access to things like playing with toys, using tablets, or watching TV. For younger children, they might also get extra time with their caregivers. To understand the underlying reasons why your child might be avoiding school, you can begin by having a conversation with your child. Have that conversation when you are both calm, rather than during the moment that your child is refusing to go to school. Try to have it in a private, distraction free space and ask open ended questions like, "What's school like for you these days?" Keep in mind that your child might have trouble sharing what's going on for them, and you might have to help connect the dots. For example, you might say something like, "I notice you have a stomach ache during gym. What's gym like for you?" Share with your child that you care about them and you want to help. You can also look for patterns in your child's behavior. You might keep a log of the days that your child shows school avoidant behavior, the circumstances around the avoidance, and any other concerns they express. You might note, for example, that it's the first day back after break, or they have a certain class or a certain teacher. Remember, you don't have to figure out what's going on with your child's school avoidant behavior alone. This is something best done by a team that includes the school, you all, and other providers. As appropriate, you can always share with the school and others what you learned from talking with your child or looking for patterns in your child's behavior to help the team come up with a plan to support your child. So, you feel like your child is avoiding school. What do you do now? We have four major tips for you. First, collaborate with the school to support your child. Second, set clear expectations about school attendance. Third, reward your child for attending school. And fourth, come up with morning and evening routines for you and your child to follow. Our first tip is to collaborate with the school. This means working with school professionals to develop supports for your child to get back in class. Why do this? Well, you can have the biggest impact by providing continuity and strategies across settings. You might be able to advocate for changes at the school that could impact your child. And you might be able to access school resources to support your child. The school might also conduct an assessment to pinpoint the factors that are maintaining your child's school avoidance behavior. To collaborate with the school, start by reaching out to your child's teacher, guidance counselor, school psychologist, or other school professional about your concerns. You can reach out at any time, but you should certainly reach out if school avoidance is causing your family stress or negatively affecting your child's school or life functioning. When speaking with the school, you might wish to share your child's reasons for school avoidance or any patterns you've noticed in their behavior, any concerns with their health, mental health, or sleep, and challenges your family might be facing that impact school attendance, like housing and transportation challenges or major life transitions. Then work with the school and make a plan to support your child. That plan should address the underlying reasons for your child's school avoidance. What might that plan look like? Well, if your child is avoiding school because they're avoiding feelings of anxiety, then the plan should address the anxiety by helping your child face it gradually. Avoiding school can alleviate a child's anxiety in the short term, but longer term is likely to reduce their confidence and make them even more anxious about attending. So, to support your child in the long term, help them face their anxiety bit by bit by working with your child's school and or a mental health provider to make a plan to do so. For children anxious to separate from you or another caregiver, you can also help your child separate from you gradually over time. You can also help your child practice relaxation skills like deep breathing so they can cope with distress. If you suspect that your child is avoiding academic tasks at school, you can start by talking to your child's teacher. Your child might benefit from extra academic support at school. Also, when your child stays home, try to simulate a school day. Get the schoolwork your child is missing from their teacher and have them complete it. So, staying home doesn't mean escaping from academic tasks. Some children avoid school to avoid social situations. If this sounds like your child, work with your child's teacher to plan a support system at school. Talk with a teacher about a buddy system for your child or a check in plan with a preferred teacher. You can also help your child build social skills by modeling them and providing opportunities for your child to practice socializing. And then finally, if your child might be experiencing bullying, talk to the school about this. If bullying is occurring, the school needs to know to address this larger problem. If you think your child might be staying home from school to access preferred items or activities that are only available at home, then try to limit access to those things that your child likes when they stay home, like toys, the TV, a tablet. So when they're home, being there is boring. If your child might be staying home to get extra attention from you or another caregiver, you can also try to provide additional attention during non school hours, like evenings or weekends, and limit caregiver attention when your child's at home from school. Our second tip for you is to set clear expectations about school attendance. This means setting the expectation that your child should attend school except for very specific circumstances, like when a doctor says they need to stay home. This is important to help you and your child know what to do on school days, to show your child that school matters to you, and to hopefully avoid power struggles. To do this, begin by identifying your expectation. It should be specific and positively stated. It should also describe when your child will not go to school. For children who are not attending or rarely attending school, start small with something your child can actually achieve. Can they go to school for 10 minutes a few times per week or attend one class? An example of an expectation might be you go to school every day. You don't go to school when you have a fever. Next, teach the expectation to your child. Describe what following the expectation looks like and doesn't look like. For example, going to school every day means I drive you to school in the morning and you stay in school all day till mom picks you up. It means you do not stay home with grandma. Review the expectation with your child frequently, as often as once a day. And finally, praise your child for following the expectation or for making progress towards meeting the expectation. You can also consider a reward system for meeting the expectation, which we'll talk about in a moment. Our third tip for you is to reward attendance. This means setting up a contract with your child so they get a reward for making efforts to attend school. This is important because it acknowledges your child's work. It supports them and recognizes their progress in getting back to school. It also pairs attending school with fun things that your child likes. To do this, you can start by identifying an attendance goal. Make sure the goal is something your child can do now. For example, can they get on the school bus and ride to school? Can they attend school for 30 minutes? Could they attend school until lunchtime? Collaborate with your child to identify a reward for reaching the goal. Make sure the reward is something you can provide. For example, you could give your child a special snack to eat once they get on the bus, or work with your child's teacher so they have a special job in the classroom at lunch if they're able to stay in school till that time. If your child reaches their goal, give them a reward immediately and praise them for reaching it. If not, work with your child to figure out how they can reach the goal next time. Or if you think this is important, you could adjust the goal if needed. When your child is successful in getting their reward over time, you can increase what they need to do to get the reward gradually to help them build skills towards attending school. Our last tip for you is to help your child follow a consistent morning and evening routine. This means having your child follow a schedule of activities that they do every day. This is useful to create predictability related to school. It can provide structure during the times when your child's challenging behaviors related to school avoidance are most likely to occur. And importantly, it can support good sleep, which may help your child's attendance and overall well being. To do this, start by collaborating with your child to create a schedule for their morning and evenings. Make a visual of the schedule. You can have your child draw pictures for each step that they take, or you could print out pictures for each step. Post that visual schedule somewhere accessible, like on the fridge or in the living room. And then every morning and evening, remind your child of the schedule and give them a reminder before it's time to transition activities. Praise your child for following the schedule. You've now heard the signs of school avoidance and 4 strategies for supporting your child to get back in school. You may be looking for more resources. If that's the case, you can access resources related to school avoidance on the MCIU website. Follow this short link to go directly to their site and learn more about programming to support attendance in Montco. If you're looking for more resources on parenting, check out the Montco Padlet. Follow this short link to get information on parent programming and upcoming events for families. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you checking out this resource and supporting your child to attend school and be the best they can.